How do you maintain your motivation? How do you maintain that sort of same level of commitment to a craft that you've spent a long time cultivating and mastering? How do you still find energy for new avenues and the diversification of things that you've tried to sort of imbue with your body of work? Like, is there a catalyst to it, or do you have to? Is that something you have to look inside for? You have to go, take a breath, right? Remember, right now, let's go after it, or is there just
Man.
something driving you?
Nah, this is just because it's natural. So it's like one of the things, yeah, like people experience burnout, and I feel like the reason why you experience burnout is when you're doing something you don't really want to do, and it's not giving you, you're just not getting the energy back from it.
Literally, it's traction, isn't it? It's that
Right.
part of you're not moving forwards or backwards. You're literally burning yourself out, staying in a place you don't want to be, otherwise you wouldn't be
Right.
trying to move. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So even if you look at my career, yeah, so the music's coming out regardless. So I'm gonna make songs regardless. It doesn't really matter who listens and who doesn't listen. I'm just gonna be doing me. If you listen, cool. If you don't, cool. Same with social media. I'm gonna post. If it catches, cool. If it don't, cool. But like when I have meetings with social media managers or in labels and stuff, and they're like, yeah, you've got to post like every day on Instagram. You got to post, you know what I mean, 2 to 3 times a week on TikTok, and you got to do that. I'm just like, I don't have to. Like, yeah, nah, but if you want to, yeah, that's true. Like, I could do that, but what's going to happen is going to start feeling like a chore to me.
It becomes
And then I'm not
formulaic
gonna
as
enjoy
well,
it.
because you're doing something against your own inclination.
Right, cool. If what happens is one day I find something, or I find a way to use TikTok in the way that I want to use it, and it doesn't feel like it's taking me out of my day-to-day. Like, I just tweet when I feel like tweeting, innit? So that's super easy. It's almost like it's so natural. I've been doing it forever now, so it's not a thing. Some things fall away. I don't use Facebook anymore, but it used to be Facebook before. If I find a way of doing it on TikTok, which doesn't take away a lot of time, or at least the time I give to it is rewarded, then I'll do it. I'll be like, all right, cool. I found a way to use TikTok for my benefit, which is authentic to me. So you're not going to see me doing TikTok dances. You're not going to see me doing anything out of character, because that's just not me. Like, and every time I do that kind of stuff, when I'm like, oh, you know what? Let me try and do something for TikTok, and it's a little bit like not me. I'm deleting. I'm like, nah, man, it don't feel right. And I feel like one of the things I've always been cognizant of is, like, say, like, I'm talking to you, right? We're having a conversation. I never want it to be like someone who knows me goes, nah, that ain't how Genesis is, man. Yeah, I mean, like, nah, that ain't me. Like, my wife and kids, they got to see me out. Like, my parents are gonna watch stuff. Like I never want it to be like, nah, that's just not, you're doing something that's not you, or that's not how you actually are. So to me, there always has to be that thread that goes through everything. And I feel like when you don't have that, that's when you get burnt out. And when I see people say to me, oh yeah, man, it's just really hard, like, it's really hard, you know, trying to get all these songs and blah 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 blah. To me, I'm just like, maybe this ain't for you, man, or it is for you, but just not in that way. Not everybody can put out a single every week. I could still do it now if I wanted to. I'm just busy. But to me, I'm never gonna get burnt out with doing things that I love, and that goes for social media. It goes for putting out the music. It goes for all the content that gets created. Anything I do, it has to be because I love it, and it might be sporadic, but that's okay, man. Because in the grand scheme of things, I'm still consistent in the long run. So maybe I only post on TikTok once every 3 weeks, but they're there, innit? If you want them, they're there. Every now and then I'll hit a post and we get 2.7 million plays. All right, cool, all good. But I wasn't looking for that. And when I had that viral moment, I didn't go, oh, I need another one. I have that, man. I'm gonna do something else that may not go viral next, but I don't care, because it's not for that. It's like, this is so much bigger than these moments. And like you said about artists who get the money, like, it might not be about the money in the long run. I feel like when I'm 90, if I live to be that old, I don't think it's going to be about the money. I think it's going to be about something way bigger than that. I think it's going to be about legacy. And obviously, I'm also not saying don't get money. Like, I love money. Like, you need to be able to, there's a balance. And when I was younger, I was like, yo, it's all for the love, man. Fuck the money. And that's why I was broke for so long. Then I was like, oh no, wait, you need to get money so you can, like, you know, live and feed your family and buy a house and shit. Yeah, but then it's not the be all and end all. Once you've got to that point, now you can really start making decisions about what's your legacy going to be. And I say this so many times, man. One day, I hope, like, my great grandchildren go, wait, that was our great granddad. What was he saying? Let me hear what this old man was saying, man. What is he on? And just listen and go, oh shit, okay, that was his vibe. That was cool, man. That was cool. And there was some references in the things that he said. He spoke about things in his time and he said some cool stuff. And yeah, that's cool. Right, let me go do some cool shit. You know what I mean? And carry that on. That's what legacy is about.
100%. I mean, if I'm going to butcher his name because I'm not familiar with the guy that bit, but Lewis Capaldi's just gone, I think it's 563 million streams. But the most successful state. But here's the thing, I remember hearing an anecdote of his where he was talking about being in a motorway M&S or something,
right? And
he was walking around and no one recognized him, and at that point he'd had the most successful UK, US, or whatever it was, but he'd managed to be the height of prominence and success to literally being 5 feet away from people you would think would recognize him, and not even a beat. And he had to call his manager immediately and said, dude, we got to do something, like, now. Not even because I'm sure he wasn't sweating for cash. I mean, he was shopping in an M&S roadside fucking shop. He must have money to burn. But I mean, come on, man, no one fucking shops at M&S on the road. Shit's already inflated in a fucking roadside, you know, I'm going to say gas station like an American, but it's an M&S as well. But the point is, like, I'm sure he was concerned with his legacy. I'm sure he's like, fuck, do I really want to just be that guy who's known for that one song? Or just that series of songs, and then like, it always comes down to it. I have this argument with people all the time where people are like, oh, this guy's so and so, and he gets to a certain age and he changed his ways. Is it real? Trust me, every man at some stage in his life has to come face to face with his legacy, and he has to reconcile, am I actually happy with it, or do I now need to start thinking about it? And it's so comforting, and I'm sure you feel this way, to look back at this point and go, yeah, I've made my fair share of mistakes, and there's probably some stuff in hindsight that could have been done differently, but man, I'm happy with it. I'm glad that I've got it to fall back on, and I'm glad that I get to build off it, because imagine if I'd have made a different decision here or there, it would have been different. I have a couple more questions, because I'm acutely aware that we have lives to lead, and yours is infinitely more interesting than mine, and I want you to resume doing it. But I'm also remiss if I don't mention Mr. Carl Anker. He gave me a tip that I should limit my interviews to 10 questions rather than the 30,000 that I normally ask. Again, for people who don't know, I send cheat sheets in advance, and I'm always acutely aware that the guest receives it and goes, fuck me, what does he want to do? Read the Magna Carta? And I'm sorry that if that was
did your homework, man. I was reading it, I was like, oh shit, like,
wow, this is the thing, man. Like I said at the beginning, like, there's something heartbreaking when you see interviews and you go, oh man, he's been asked this question again, man. Like, you hate it. For me, it just feels like Michael Parkinson bringing someone on stage and going, all right, so you're a musician, are you? You know, and it's like, dude, you have to know who you're fucking talking to before you sit down and talk to them. But I digress. Couple of other questions. I mean, the obvious question, obviously, is what are your aspirations going forward? I mean, you've got a body of work that anyone will be proud of. You've got a presence on social media. I mean, the blue tick now looking a little bit infuriating, I'm sure, from your perspective, having earned it the old-fashioned way, as the kids will now say it, by being, I don't know, good and famous at what he does.